All right, so I'm going to take over for just a couple of minutes here. I'm going to talk about the Belmont Stakes, okay, in New York. Now, have you ever been to Saratoga?
No, I've never been to Saratoga. I have been to Belmont and
Belmont Park, okay.
Yeah, I've been to
Okay.
Belmont Park, and it wasn't that
Have you
far.
been to the Belmont itself? The race?
Excuse me?
Have you been to the race, the Belmont Stakes?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't been to that. It's usually I was playing baseball when that was going on.
Okay, there you go. That's probably true on that one. So yeah, so we got that race coming up, and so there's 3 horses that stand above the rest in this one. The favorite right now is Journalism. Journalism won the Preakness. Excellent horse, great speed. It's the only horse in the field of 8 that is running its 3rd race in 5 weeks. Okay. So, pardon me?
There's only 8 entrants?
Only 8 entrants, correct. Yes, 8 entrants. So Journalism, like I said, is the favorite. And so you can't help but wonder, because horses, they just don't run them this way anymore, that, to where they, have the stamina. And even the Triple Crown winners, the last 2 Triple Crown winners, American Pharaoh, and I'm just drawing a blank on the other one, Justify, the last 2, they won the Triple Crown, but they ran their poorest race in the Belmont. Okay, in each situation. So it just takes its toll. So to me, Journalism, though, is still in the mix. It's won 5 of its last 6 races. So, I mean, the horse can do it, and it finished 2nd, in the Kentucky Derby. So that horse is right there. I think it's going to depend upon if the jockey can get the right trip to stay near the horses that break fast, but not run too fast, get on the rail to stay there, come around the far turn, and have an opportunity to make a run there. I think if it has to get wide, I think it's just going to be too many steps. Okay. And I just don't know if he'll have enough energy. Certainly a win contender. Okay. I'm not dismissing that. And if Journalism won, that would not be a surprise, but I think it just needs the right trip. Now, Sovereignty won the Kentucky Derby. The horse is a closer. What is a closer? It's a horse that stays off the beat, behind the pack, and then saves it for the end, and then it just goes at the end, and that's exactly what happened in the Kentucky Derby. That's why that horse won. The Sovereignty has won 3 of his last 4 races. The only loss that it had was in the Florida Derby, but in truth, it finished 2nd and didn't need to win because it had already qualified for the Kentucky Derby at that point. Sovereignty is trying to become the first Derby winner to win the Belmont since Thunder Gulch 2 decades ago. Okay, and this one, Sovereignty is the second choice. It certainly is right there. Okay, in order to be able to win this race, and then the third choice is Baeza. This horse is 4-1 odds, so it's right in the mix. If you're going to include Baeza in anything, this is going to be, by the way, a very popular bet horse because it's the only one with some, let's just say, some odds that you can win with at 4-1. Finished 2nd to Journalism in the Santa Anita Derby, was 3rd in the Kentucky Derby, and was gaining on the 2 leaders, okay, in the last 150 yards. So the horse still had some juice, and it started out of the 19th gate in that race. So with not as many horses in the field, okay, this horse is very strong, has some excellent speed ratings like the other one. If you're looking for a long shot, I'd look at Rodriguez, would be the best long shot of the bunch. But the horse, it missed the last 2 races because of an injury and because of lack of training. It has the talent. I just don't know that it has the speed, but I would say something to consider on that one. Now, as far as the race itself, I honestly, I don't really like, I can't say, for me to say I like one to win. Baeza would probably be the one I would choose. In terms of betting, though, okay, I'm going to make a small bet on Baeza to win, but my favorite bets, I like the idea of doing a 3-horse exacta box, which is 6 bets, including all 3 horses. The problem with doing that, though, is because you could win the race and lose money because the odds are going to be so low, okay, on that one. So in terms of, I'm going to do an exacta box with Baeza and Journalism and Baeza and Sovereignty. Hope Baeza comes on top. And I'll finish it off. I hit a trifecta back in the Kentucky Derby. I've won each of the first 2 races of the Triple Crown, trying to make it 3, another Triple Crown winner across the board, second time in 4 years. I'm going to do a trifecta box and hope I get all 3 horses, get in there, and one of these longer shots don't come in out of nowhere and comes in third and screws me up.
Doug, you said on the Justify won the Kentucky Derby. Was that
no? Could Justify? I'm sorry. In this, are you talking this year? Journalism.
No,
Sovereignty won the Kentucky Derby.
Sovereignty, excuse me.
Yeah, journalism won the Preakness.
Great ride, that Kentucky Derby.
Oh yes.
You said how he came from behind.
Yep.
But journalism, as far as I'm concerned, is dead. I don't mean a horse race. I don't mean it means euthanized. I just mean journalism and as part of our news media. Always interesting. And Doug, don't you think? I mean, my thoughts are: shouldn't there be another week before they have the Belmont, considering it's such a grueling race? You mentioned 5 races. I mean, 3 races in 5 weeks. I think that may be one of the reasons there aren't as many entrants in this race.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, they don't, the training is not set up for like it used to be. Okay. And so here's the problem is that I think the best place to do it is that have a race every 3 weeks. Okay. So move the Preakness to 3 weeks, come back with the Belmont 3 weeks later. The problem that they have, the Belmont, and I think or I'm assuming a little bit about the New York Racing Association. It's an interesting organization. I'll just put it that way. And a lot of stuff goes on there, and they are steadfast in saying we will never move the Belmont.
Wow.
So that's so because Kentucky Derby is always run on the first Saturday of May. If Belmont doesn't move, nothing changes.
Okay? That's too bad, because I think they get a little more. It might add anticipation as well. I mean, over time, you're longing for it, waiting for it, but I think it's pretty grueling for the horses.